Welcome back to the channel, Red Devils Talk, me, Session, and of course, your preview to our game against West Ham at the London Stadium tomorrow. But I want to speak about Sancho and Greenwood and maybe a bit about Sir Jim and where his particular takeover is thus far. Let's get into it. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like. I thank you for your support and thank you for joining me. So, let's start with Sancho first. It has been reported that Jadon Sancho's contract will be looked to be terminated if they do not find a club to sell him to or loan him out to. That to me spells the end of player power. And with the way the club has been run the past few years, you would not have seen a move like this or a report coming out like this. The likes of Jadon Sancho have always won these battles where managers have been sacked. You look at Mourinho and Pogba, there was a similar incident. Him and Pogba fell out. Pogba waited, Mourinho got sacked, Pogba was back in the team. And Jadon Sancho was reported to having a similar thought in trying to outlast Ten Hag at United. But the club have put its foot down. They are backing Ten Hag, and it seems like he is on his way out. He should have been out of the door already the moment he disrespected the club, in my opinion. I think Sir Alex would have had him either out of the door already or he would have been back in the team, because Sir Alex was the type of person to be able to reconcile but also be quite deadly in dealing with these type of attitudes. Sancho was not a player that we could have relied upon, and the failure of his career at United is, I would say, 80% up to him. The 20% comes from, the club, in my opinion, not being the best environment to have a good career for the past 10 years. And unfortunately, he fell prey to so many bad habits that was, indoctrinated into the club, and certain players' attitudes, got into him. And, mental health is an issue, and I won't speak on things that I might not know about with regard to Sancho and his mental health, but things were affecting him off the pitch, and it showed on the pitch and definitely showed to his behind the scenes in training. That is why Ten Hag said what he said. But with the club making a decision like that, they are backing Ten Hag and they are giving him the opportunity to build a squad of players that are wanting to work, wanting to exceed and excel and play at a high standard, which Manchester United demands. That is the way it's supposed to be. And that being said as well, it brings me into the Greenwood situation. Now, Greenwood has been performing well in Spain for Getafe. And most recently against Atletico Madrid, he had a man of the match performance by certain pundits. And everyone is praising him, and for me, it was never his footballing ability. Sorry, I keep getting this little, I think it's not sure what that is. Anyway, it was just this weird little feeling behind my neck. Nevertheless, Greenwood's footballing ability was never the question. I don't think that was ever the problem. And to see that he hasn't lost that ability and still has the potential to become an absolutely world-class player, on that particular side, I certainly do not have an issue. He is a talented footballer, and it is good to see that he hasn't lost any of that ability. But that is not the reason why he was suspended and not playing for Man United. We know what we saw. We know the evidence that was put out. And I'm not going to be here sitting and saying that I want him to play for United again, because I've always been vocal about the fact that I don't want him to play for United. But there are reports that the club might look to keep him, even though offers from Barca, Real Madrid, etc. are coming in. There are other clubs that want to buy him. But United might just keep him because of him being such a highly talented footballer. Now, whether I don't like that or not, that might be the exact issue that happens. And there is a fan base in United that do want Greenwood back playing for United. And you know what? They do have a point. He is performing well. And the likes of Anthony, Garnacho, Rashford, they are not performing at the level that he is doing. Now, of course, Spain is Spain, and you might say the league is not as good or as tough as the Premier League, but Greenwood has performed in the Premier League. And if he's doing that in Spain, imagine what he would do in England. Now, me personally, I've always said I do not want him to play for United again. I have standards, I have morals, and I believe in certain things that needs to be upheld. And some people might overlook these things, not me. And regardless of what Greenwood is doing on the footballing side, I still do not want him playing for Man United. And that is just my opinion. I felt that after this whole, persona that has been created by people of him being praised and being told, come back to United, etc., I just felt I needed to say something again on my opinion on that. But let's get into the preview for West Ham. And we drew against Liverpool our last game. West Ham lost 5-1 to Liverpool in the Carabao Cup in the week. And they do look quite tired. David Moyes didn't rotate again. So his team is feeling the pressure of this Christmas period with games every 3 days. And we should capitalize on that. We had a week off. We had enough training time, I should say. And there should have been good recovery time for us to be much fitter and much stronger at the London Stadium. But then again, we still do not have a team that is capable of just going out and taking on teams. And the way we played against Liverpool would mean nothing if we do not win West Ham. We need to win West Ham to have one momentum going into the new year. Well, we still have Aston Villa, but that is going to be an even more tougher game considering how Aston Villa is performing this season. So West Ham in itself, for me as a starting 11, I think Ten Hag only has to make 2 changes. And that would be Rashford coming in for Garnacho and Bruno coming in for McTominay, which must be the obvious change. McTominay cannot start regardless of his height, of him getting goals, probably, but we need to have him on the bench because we need control in these games. Amrabat and Mainu did quite well at Anfield. Mainu on a yellow card, Amrabat on a yellow card, both still had a very good game. And Evans and Varane behind them also defended quite well. Shaw, excellent at left back, and with the low being suspended, Wan-Bissaka needs to be the right back, of course. Those 6 players can definitely contain what West Ham would want to throw at us. And we should be able to then play on that, out from the back, and try and get in behind. Hoyland is looking for a goal, but the likes of Rashford and Anthony need to find him. Mainu, Bruno, Amrabat need to also find him. Play balls into him, play balls when he does make a run in behind. And West Ham doesn't have that much of a big team. So there's no excuse to play McTominay because, we need his height. The likes of Bowen, Paqueta, Kudus, etc., they are not tall players. They are also not physically strong. So we should be able to deal with what West Ham will throw at us. It is a game, as I said, we do need to win. We cannot want to draw and then draw again. It's not going to be very good for momentum, and it certainly won't be good for confidence because that clean sheet at Anfield must be something we build upon. It needs to be a performance that we can use as a base and then go and attack from there on out. West Ham will be a tough game. They are a team that is good at home, have a very good record in the Premier League, winning the last 4 out of the last 5. So we certainly need to be at a certain level in order to win them. For me, I think we can win this game if we apply ourselves and we do and stay disciplined the way we did against Liverpool. And we should have our forward players then getting opportunities, scoring them, and getting us a win. Before I end off the video, I do want to say a Merry Christmas. It will be the last video I make before Christmas on Monday. And of course, we play Aston Villa on Tuesday. And we'll definitely have a much tougher game to look forward to. But I thank you for joining me in today's video. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like, enjoy the weekend, have a Merry Christmas. Till we see each other again soon, Red Devils. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.